Hey you guys, it's Guiana and today is Friday, August 14th, 2020. So I had previously recorded a video, it was about 20 minutes long, and I kept saying, throughout the whole video. And so when I was younger, there was a woman who, she was actually my best friend at that time's mom. She said, no, I don't know. You always say, and I don't know. And so I realized, oh, that must be me like thinking thoughts and not finishing them or like finishing a sentence or saying what it is that I'm thinking, saying instead, and she was like, no, I don't know. So it corrected me. So now I know that I need to quit saying, throughout videos. So I had to re-record this. But I hope y'all are having a blessed day. I hope you're having a wonderful day. And I know we're still inside, but lately I've been really wanting to get together with a group of ladies and have like a girls' day or a girls' night, something just fun, there I go. Something fun, just having fun with a group of women. We could go to eat, I guess, like I know we have like Dave and Buster's. There's a couple other places that we probably could go. But I thought about posting that on Facebook. I just haven't yet, just because I know since we're in quarantine, some people aren't comfortable being with other people, like a lot of people or in big crowds. So I'll probably wait a little bit for that. But if that's something that you'd like to do, just message me on Facebook and we can see about getting together and planning like a girls' day. Okay, so I wanted to come on here, you guys, and talk to you all about just this whole being single thing and how it's been so far. It's been over a year now, and I can honestly say that I've learned so much. Excuse my nails, you guys, I gotta paint them after this probably. But I've enjoyed, being single, and I've enjoyed learning so much. I've enjoyed being able to learn about different things and different people and just what exactly it is to be a good partner and a good spouse and what you're supposed to expect from the person that you choose to be with. And I just kind of wanted to share some of my experience with this. So I haven't had a lot of experience with men in this, but I've had a lot of experience. Just stop. You hear me recording, please? Sorry, you guys. But I've had a lot of experience with, being single and just kind of seeing like the different types of men and things like that. I have had men offer to take me out. Do I want to go get coffee? Do I want to come over to swim in their nice place? Can they come over? Like, I've had different men approach me, not to say that in a bragging way, but just so I have been approached. I just, for some reason, and maybe you all can help me understand this, I am when it comes to men, I'm awkward. I feel like I'm probably one of the most awkward people in the world when it comes to men. And it's frustrating sometimes. I don't see, I know people that they, could be talking to 5 different people and they met them all different ways, different places. And I'm just like, for some reason, I find it awkward, and I just cut it off really quick. And I think it's because I have a guard up, I think anytime that you've loved so hard, or that you've believed in something so much and then it failed, you're very, very particular moving forward about the type of person or people that you entertain. And I consider that, a blessing. And sometimes it's a hindrance because I don't respond well to being approached. And I even, just in the middle of them talking to me, just cut off the conversation because I guess I wish I could read their mind sometimes, and like know what they're thinking, and I don't know. And that makes it really hard. But it's definitely something that I'm praying about and that I'm working on, being more open to that, interaction with a man. This is hard for me to talk about. This is not something that's super easy for me to talk about either, just because, especially being 28, you would think that and it has nothing to do with confidence. I have confidence. I think it has more to do with not wasting my time. And so I'm so particular about not giving any of my, precious time and my precious energy and precious spirit and precious love to people that are going to try to like mistreat me or abuse me or misuse me or just play with me. I don't want to experience that. And so I feel like it's definitely a downfall sometimes. So with that being said though, I also wanted to remind the single women out there that are waiting on their husbands or their God-ordained, spouse. If you're a male, your God-ordained wife. It's very important that we know what we want. Okay, so when we do meet someone, or when we do start to entertain the idea of courting someone, and I'll go back to that, we know automatically like what should raise a red flag or what is something that we should, discuss further. Because you may find a man that you are talking to and they say, yeah, I just want like 2 more kids. And you may not want any more kids, And so if you, if you don't want more kids and they want 2 more and you just kind of overlook that and you're like, oh, okay. And then you guys continue talking and then it's like 3 months later and things are kind of, picking up traction and it's moving, at a faster rate and everything's just like, looks like this is going somewhere. Y'all get married and he's like, okay, like I'm ready for this baby. And you're like, what baby? Because I'm about to go get a tummy tuck, It's just like, now you have to have that discussion. And that was a discussion that should have been had, in the right when it was, the conversation had even been brought up. So there's just things like that. Or maybe you believe that a woman so like for me, for instance, I believe that me as a woman, it's important for me to add to you. And it's important for me to take care of myself, take care of my mind, my body, my spirit, to take care of our home, our children, to raise them up in the right way. And that it is your job to want to lead and want to take care of us and to be motivated to getting us to another level while I'm there as the helpmeet. But a lot of people are nowadays, especially, you see a lot of Dutch type men. And what I mean when I say that is like half and half. Like, you need to work, I work, you need to work, or I do this, so you need to do this, or I do all this, so you need to do all this. And that's fine, if that's how some relationships are. But I've ran into that. And I'm just like, no, that's not going to work for me. And that's me settling. We all have our own things and our own qualities that we look for and that we want in a spouse. And so if that's something that you don't want and y'all get together and you're like, I want to take care of home, I want to take care of myself, I want to take care of what's ours, including you, while you go out into the world and you deal with the weight of the world, which I will if I have to. But when you come home, it's all good. Like we're good. And if anything happens out there, we still good. Some men aren't like that. Okay. And I feel like it's society once again, or they're just not there. So those are things that are really important. You have to know exactly what it is that you want out of a marriage and be sure that matches up. Back to the courtship conversation. So a lot of people nowadays like to date, and especially like me, like I haven't dated a lot. I haven't had that many boyfriends. I can count on one hand how many boyfriends I've had throughout my whole life. And so that for me is, I feel like a lot of people date for fun, or a lot of people date because they just want some company or some male attention or some male company. When really, it's harder to see through when you're just dating. If you're when you're courting, and I think that you all should look into this too, especially if you're a woman like me, to where you want to kind of protect and save a lot of yourself, because I can't handle too many worldly blows. It takes I have to recover, and I have to bounce back. And that, for me, it involves a lot of soul searching and a lot of digging deep. Some people, the way that they're wired is just different, and so like that stuff doesn't affect them the same way. But if it does, you can't allow yourself to date these different people and then get caught up in these emotions that you didn't expect, or emotions that you've never experienced before, or like, oh, I'm so like head over heels for this person, and then you're let down. Courting is a way to kind of cut through all of that, and it's a way, to date to be with someone and to see if you all are a good fit. And if they understand that you're courting, just like you understand that you're courting, then your goals should be the same. It should result in marriage, and that marriage should prosper and be a testimony of God and of His love and of His grace. But it's a way to help maneuver through the whole dating process of a relationship. So yeah, there's just a lot. It's so hard. It's easy to. I've had people tell me like, you should get on Tinder and just go out, just meet people. I'm like, I can't, because I'm so. I think when your feelings are kind of very prominent within your decisions, which I'm not led by like my feelings a lot, but just if that can happen, you have to be careful. And so, yeah, it's hard, you guys. I don't know, maybe in the comments y'all can let me know how you handle it, but for me, it hasn't. Now that I've like, and I do feel like God is a lot of women. I feel like there's going to be a lot of marriages soon for good women, for women that deserve a good husband. Sometimes we sit around and we're in these relationships, and we sit around in them for so long, and that happened to me. I was in a relationship for a long time, and we got out of that relationship, and then he went off, and he's engaged and getting married and all of this other stuff. And they say, well, you were with this person for this long, and they did this and they did that. Well, that's the thing, is that it's, you can't look at it as like a reflection of you, because it's not a reflection of you. It's a reflection of whatever it wants to be a reflection of, but it's not a you. And what it does is it puts you in position to receive the real blessing that God has for you, the real true love that God has for you, the type of man, the man that He made for you. And that's all it does. It gets you in position for that. So you can't look at certain heartbreaking experiences from exes or from past lovers in a way to where like it's just all harm on you and all foul on you. We understand that we get broken hearts sometimes, and that's just a part of life. I'm not saying it like to be inconsiderate. It's the truth. That's a part of life. We can go break hearts if we wanted to, but we know, that you don't want to do that to somebody. You don't want to hurt people. And you reap what you sow, so you want to continue to be a living testimony. And it's especially, once again, as a single mother, when you have kids, it's important that you're not just bringing anybody around or just jumping into relationships super quick, and then, they're meeting your kids, and because then they may start to build that bond, and they may start to have that relationship with them, and then you're really unhappy because you started to see sides of them that you didn't even know were there, or you see like they just got with you for like these few reasons, and then that's dying off, and so this probably isn't going to go anywhere. There's so many things to consider when it comes to picking a mate, and when it comes to who you're going to spend your life with. I know for me, it's been such an eye-opening experience and an eye-opening journey just to see how different people are. You know, I see different qualities in my brothers. I see different qualities in my dad, in my mom's husband, in just different men in the world. And it's like every man is so different. I mean, even though like they say like all men are the same, like no, like a lot of men are different. And so you just kind of have to know, like, you know, this is a quality that I admire about this person and I love about this person. So this may be something that I'll consider in my future husband. And I do feel like God's preparing me for marriage. He has been preparing me. I know that I'll be a great wife to someone. And, you know, save yourself for your spouse. If you know God's preparing you, which you'll be able to tell by little things. You'll be able to know, like, you'll start doing things that you normally wouldn't do, or you'll start thinking like a certain type of way. Now you do have to, you know, change your mindset, you know, change your thoughts, you know, renew your mind. And within that, you'll start to, I know this video was long, you guys, I'm sorry, but I really want you all to hear this, okay? But when you'll start to like be like, oh, like I love these different scented perfumes now, and I got to be sure my house is spotless, and I got to be sure I make dinner, and it'll just be like these little things that, you know, will be preparing you when you won't even know, or you will know. But don't worry, you know, don't get faint-hearted. Don't feel like, you know, God, what about me? You know, God hides you for a season, for a reason, for a certain purpose. And so you don't want to settle. You don't want to fall victim, you know, to that trap that so many women fall victim to. And you can't change a man. So don't ever think, you know, well, he didn't do this for me, but he does it for her. Or, you know, when he was with me, he didn't do this, but now he does this, you know, for her, or whatever. You know, you have to allow God to just work on you and to change you. And when you meet the person that he has for you, it'll be such a beautiful thing. But this video really is just about like throughout the process of it, you know, just not growing weary. And I know for me sometimes, you know, I'm like, I just want some like adult attention, you know, not even necessarily male attention, just some adult attention. And then sometimes I'm like, oh, you know, I'm tired of being alone. You know, everybody's asking me like, when are you gonna get a boyfriend? When are you gonna start dating? When are you gonna start doing this or doing that? And I've been telling people, you know, like, I'm trying to work on me and change this and get this together. But I think a lot of it has to do with faith too, just knowing, because you're supposed to be found. So we're not supposed to go out looking for this man. He will find us. And they have to have the courage too. Like, we can't give them passes to not have to approach us or to not have to ask us, you know, the right type of questions. You can even tell, like, within conversations, like the questions that these men have, what their intentions are. If it's, you know, surface level questions. I mean, you might want a person with some depth to them. You know, you might not want such a shallow man. You might not want just a man that makes $1 million and can't even hold a conversation at the White House if y'all had to go up there one day. You know, it just really depends on what you want. And so don't give them passes into not having to put in the work to show you that they want you. You know, if a man wants you, you will know. And there won't be competition, and you won't have to wonder and all of that stuff. And this is stuff that I've learned along the way. You know, I used to settle for stuff and be like, oh, like, just thought like that's just what it was, you know, but it's not. That's not what it is. You set the stage, and this is, you know, how it's gonna go. So, you know, expect that for yourself. Don't dumb yourself down to be on their level. Don't get tired of waiting. If you are married and you're having issues, you know, and it's able to be fixed, try to, you know, work on it. But this is really targeted more toward the singles. Just continue to pray, continue to stay focused. Don't give yourself away for free. I know fornication is hard. I mean, obviously, we fornicated if we have kids, but pursue the journey of celibacy. Not fornicating, because then you have more of yourself saved for the person of your future, and so they're able to receive you in the purest, most pruned way possible. If you're 6 months out of a relationship and you've kind of been talking to different people, like you may meet your husband in 3 months, and you within that 3 months, like you could have just been like saving yourself and just really taking steps to become a woman of a higher standard, and that's going to be appreciated, it's going to be acknowledged, it's going to be respected, and he will know like, oh, like she's different, this is what I want in a wife, so it shows discipline, and just lots of other things, but it's that self-respect. So I think I've touched on mainly everything I wanted to touch on. Within my journey, I always have to go back to God, because sometimes I'll get carried away in the world and then what's going on, and then I'll kind of get off track for a second, and I'm just like, no, I can't, because what God has for you is, our thoughts aren't his thoughts, our ways aren't his ways. Okay, he can be, this man can actually be right around the corner and you don't even know it for you. But remember, it's not about the man. It's just about continuing to prepare yourself and to, build yourself up, continue to be knowledgeable, continue to seek wisdom, and continue to, have self-respect, and he will find you. And when he finds you, he's going to know that you're the one. You won't have to beg him. You won't have to run after him. You won't have to try to get him to see your worth. You won't have to do anything. If anything, you'll probably be in disbelief that he's as fine as he is. So, yeah, y'all stay blessed. Talk to me in the comments. I love you all. Be safe. Have a great weekend and stay blessed. Be blessed. Be a blessing. And I'll be talking to you all later. Bye.